Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm featuring a newly released stamp set by AnjasBasteltraum, and I have no clue if I'm pronouncing it correctly, as well as the German name for this stamp set. I am listing it below in the description box. I'm really sorry, but I just am not convinced that I can pronounce it correctly, so I just will skip that part. This stamp set, as you saw just a few seconds ago, has some amazing frogs in it, and they are so playful and really funny, and I love them. So I decided to make a cast card today. This is a birthday card, and I just stamped out some of the images onto an A2 sized panel that I die cut using the basic rectangles by Mama Elephant. Now I'm coloring these frogs exactly the same, so I will only be showing you one of them, this one to be exact, and I'm using yellow greens 17, 23, 03 and 00. So this is going to be a very bright and fun card. I kept these colors really vibrant as well as the background later on. And then I also stamped out that fly over there that you can see. I just think this one is so cute, and it's so funny that it is included in this set, and at the same time it's clever because frogs and flies, I mean, yes. So I'm on to my second layer. As you know me by now, I'm coloring on Transotype perfect coloring paper, and I just prefer having at least 2 layers to get that blend that I want. And if needed, I just keep adding. This paper really allows you to add lots of layers. So if you're having trouble with your markers that are bleeding outside the lines, then maybe it's the paper that you're using that is oversaturated. And with this paper, I actually don't experience that issue. So far for the greens, and then I'm moving on just to the mouth really quickly, easy coloring, and then we can do that tiny fly over there. Also really simple coloring. It's a tiny image, so I don't want to overdo it, and at the same time it's just cute, so a few colors will do. And once that's done, I'm going to skip the other frog as I mentioned, and then I had to create a few masks to get this card going. Now for the masks I use some full stick post-it notes, and I just cut out all the images, and now I'm going to add them on top of this panel. You saw me showing the sentiment that I found somewhere. I think I saw the sentiment a lot already when there are frogs or bunnies or anything that is jumping as an animal, and I just really liked it. So I took the Essential Alphabet die set by Newton's Nook, and I just cut it out, and these letters are so much fun. So yeah, but before I can add these, I'm first going to create my background, and therefore I'm going to do some ink blending. Now these basic rectangles from Mama Elephant, they have stitching details, so I'm covering them up using some purple tape, and then I can start doing some ink blending using my distress inks. Now first I thought that I would have enough with 2 colors, the cracked Pistachio and the Peacock feathers, but in the end I ended up adding also the Lucky Clover to have a bit more depth on the bottom. So I'm starting really light with this ink blending. This paper isn't that forgiving, but I'm already used to it, so I know how much pressure I can add. But I prefer starting with a lighter layer, and once there is 1 layer on, I can be a bit more heavy-handed on top of this without having those harsh lines. If you're still getting used to ink blending and all those things, and you prefer, like me, the distress inks, then I would really recommend the Strathmore Bristle Smooth. It's a paper where I started with, and once I had the hang of the ink blending, I tried more and more papers out and got a hang of that too with other papers. So just so you know, but I don't have matching dies for this set and otherwise I would have to fussy cut a lot. So I decided that, well, sometimes masks are just the easy way to go, although we don't like fussy cutting. I prefer fussy cutting a mask out, then it doesn't have to be perfect. While when you want that white border around the edges, it can be quite tricky, especially with these legs from the frogs as well. I don't see me managing that. So I'm just going back and forth between the colors until I'm happy with the blend, and then I can remove all the masks and continue with the sentiment. So as you can see, this card is a really simple, quick card to make, and it's so much fun, so that's why I wanted to show you the option. Here, as you can see, I'm removing the mask, and since they are still usable, I'm just keeping them on the back of my stamp set for the next time that I'm using these stamps. So back to the sentiment. I have it here on some present seal, and I'm just going to add some liquid glue on the back of each letter and then add it to this card. And once this is on there, I can remove the present seal, but first I'm making sure that everything sticks to the panel. And then we already have our card panel, so I'm just removing the purple tape, and then we can add this panel on top of a card base and start adding some final details. So for the details of this card, I decided on using several items. I'm using the bubbles from Little Things from Lucy's cards, and these are iridescent, and I just adore iridescent embellishments. These embellishments you just have to have. They are sort of see-through, but at the same time they are not, and they take over the color of your panel, and at the same time they don't. So you have lots of colors, but it always will match with the panel that you're using, and that's why I really love them. Also, if you turn your card around a bit, then you see all those different colors appearing, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm scattering them around using a variety of sizes. And once I'm happy with placement, I'm going to add these using some liquid glue. And to get everything in place, I have this embellishment wand from Studio Katja. I had a lot of people asking me where I got it. Originally I got it from Simon's Stamp, and then they weren't available anymore. But I saw recently that Studio Katja became active on Instagram again, which is lovely, which means that I think that those things will get back in stores soon, or I hope so, because these ones are really lovely, and you can just buy new tips. That black piece, you can buy it in colors, you can buy it in black, and I just think it's handy. I have this one already more than a year, and I still don't want to change it. So that's lovely. I also added some glossy accents and stickles, and that made this card finished. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this one. As I said in the beginning, this stamp set is newly released today, and I hope that you will check it out. Thank you so much, and I will be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!